but not least, I'd like to call up Phil from Quantum Base. Quantum Base develops simple, scalable, and small quantum security solutions which can be used together in a network-type environment or independently. So over to you, Philip.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As my colleague said, my name's Phil Speed, and I'm from Quantum Base. Okay, so who are Quantum Base? What do we do, and how do we do it? And yet, in this case, being quantum security. The only way to deliver 100% provable, simple, and scalable security guaranteed by the laws of physics. So having set the scene, well, why should you believe me? Well, the greatest scientists in the world do. We have a very prestigious Royal Society Research Fellowship, and we're also published in Nature. So that's the highest global third-party advocacy possible. Our research receives support from GCHQ, APSRC. We've just received $1 million off the US Air Force. And we have 6 patents pending currently in the company, with a further 4 planned within the next couple of months. And we'll continue to build our portfolio of products over the coming years. We also have a strategic relationship with the National Graphene Centre in Manchester, and one of the products I'll talk to you about later on is one of the first practical applications of graphene. In all cases, we're building a portfolio of products at an architectural level to deliver 100% quantum security, using off-the-shelf equipment, operating at room temperature, and on a nanoscale that has little or no incremental cost once we hit volume. Okay, within our strategic vision, we talk about a 3-staged approach. We talk about longer keys, smarter maths, and transition into provably secure end-to-end quantum environments. Now, in all 3 stages of the development, authentication is really important. And the quantum identity, it's on the next slide, represents the best physical solution for authentication end-to-end. Okay, so some of the products. We have 2 world's firsts in the quantum identity, or QID as we call them. This is the atomic scale equivalent of a fingerprint, and essentially a new and improved form of physically unclonable function. So we look at the fundamental makeup. We take a simple electronic or a simple optical measurement to prove the authenticity and legitimacy of products. And as our puffs, physically unclonable functions, are defined at the fundamental length scale, being unique, you can't copy, clone, or simulate them. They can fit onto any surface, or they can fit within any device. The electronic version can be embedded within a microprocessor to provide a unique fingerprint for authentication or encryption, and it's suitable for direct integration into a simple semiconductor device. So that's great for IoT type solutions. So if you think about IoT, key characteristics, low power, small footprint, low bandwidth. These guys are perfect for that. The optical version, you scan with a smartphone and cheap filter, so standard CCD camera. And it's perfect for actually scanning any object or any device with a smartphone and cheap filter, and it's 100% secure. So we use graphene-like sheets, so 2-dimensional materials, and it's the arrangement of atoms and the imperfections in those atoms that gives each device its unique identity. Because they're unique, you can address them all independently and directly using internet or new media technologies. You can turn them on and off in the supply chain, right up until the point of consumption. And we think they can go onto any product to check authenticity or legitimacy. So you might want to replace holograms, you might want to use them with holograms. Okay. We also have a strong random number generator that's based on simple quantum physics. So this is a simple electronic device that's strictly unbiased due to its reliance on quantum physics. and it can be incorporated into any electronic device. We have a quantum lock. I haven't got time to talk to you about that today. But in all cases, these are mass manufacturable using standard semiconductor fabrication processes. They're very, very small, they're very cheap, they have the highest bit density, the best integration potential, and use the least amount of resources possible. Typical use cases for these products. So the top right is the electronic version. So laptops, mobile phones, essentially anything that receives current. Perhaps passports. We're also developing a solution with one of the largest European systems integrators to provide authentication in the blockchain, funnily enough. The bottom right is the optical version. So again, you scan it with a simple phone, it can be put on any surface, you can check the authenticity and legitimacy of any product. As I say, you may want to use it with holograms to create secure holograms and scan them with a mobile phone. You may want to replace holograms with them. In pharmaceutical, we can do box and foil level from day one and pill level after clinical trials, because these things are just essentially very, very small pieces of carbon. But in all cases, we hope this will revolutionise the authenticity and legitimacy of any products. I guess in all cases, you don't need scientists, you don't need expensive proprietary equipment or labs. Anyone, anywhere, can check the authenticity and legitimacy of a product in real time for the first time. Okay, so we're a pre-revenue startup. We've been going for 4 years and we were spun out from Lancaster University. We will be looking for investment in the next few months. We're developing use cases currently with partners. So if use cases are partnering something of interest, then please say hello. And finally, we're developing a portfolio of products at an architectural level using off-the-shelf equipment, operating at room temperature and on a nano scale that has little or no incremental cost once we hit volume. Thank you so much for your time and have a great rest of the day.